Get my screen going here. Got 2 people watching. Come on. That. There. Just going on here. So I can see people come in here. Hello, YouTube. This is Fiery Phoenix. Hey, Thunder Thunder. Hey, Nora. This is gonna be interesting. How's it going? How's it going? Got 4 people watching. So it's going to be great. Yeah, this is actually going to be interesting. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. The way I'm going to start this off, I'm going to try to get a few more people in here if I can. This is going to be really interesting for people that wants to do this, wants to see this. And it's fascinating. It is fascinating. Hey, Glitter. Welcome. Yep, this is fascinating. Have y'all ever heard, let's see, of the movie The Conjuring? Have y'all actually seen the movie The Conjuring? Hey, him and I, woodworking. I don't know who you are, but hey. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. First off, I got something very special. I'm fixing to, let y'all watch. I want to say I have no rights to this. I don't own it. Hey, Wolfden, what's up? I have no say into this whatsoever. Wolfden. Yeah, but this is actually going to be interesting. I'll get this going up here in a second. Let me hook it up here, here, share. Okay. This is the actual interview of Carolyn Perrin by Ed Warren, the late Ed Warren. And I'm going to let the interview speak for itself, and then we can talk after. Can y'all hear it? Huh. Hold on. Let me see what I can do. Hold on. Hey, Whitey. Can y'all hear it now? Hold on.
And it also doubles as my clothes closet. A coat hanger came down from the rack. I didn't bump it. I didn't touch it. I wasn't near it. I was bending over at the time. Came down off the rack and started pounding me on the head 6 or 8 times, and then hit my shoulder and then dropped to the floor.
Now, there was no logical cause for this that you could find.
Absolutely none. I wasn't anywhere near it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not logical for it to hit me several times. Logically, it should have hit me once and then fallen.
Now, the phone, you had said something about a party one night.
Yes, we had.
I'm gonna pause it and play it all the way back so y'all can hear it.
As much as I could see of it, which was approximately down to the knees and up to the shoulders. There was no head.
What about the history of the house itself? Now, I understand was it the first 2 rooms of the house?
Yes, were built long before the rest of the house. But
what was the year for that?
Well, I'm not quite sure of that, John. We have to look into the records.
Interview.
But because more people have lived in these homes, more chance of tragedies occurring in those homes. That's why we're called into many of the houses along our seacoast, because they are very old. This is why you have so many hauntings occurring in places like France and England, places where homes date back, 800, 1,000 years even in some cases. So that tragedies do create the ghost syndrome. This home had a number of tragedies, and then to culminate all of these, a woman who practiced witchcraft, who had in her earlier years actually murdered her own child by driving a stake or a nail through the head of the child as a gift, again, to Lucifer, and black magic rituals. This woman lived all of her life in that home, had practiced negative witchcraft, black witchcraft, and then at age 90-some years old, had made a pact with the devil to commit suicide, which is a great insult to the Creator, to take the physical life away from someone. In this case, she had destroyed it on her own. And this, again, goes into black magic and a pact with the devil. The apparition-like figure that Mrs. Perrin had seen was this woman. Remember when she said she could see a black sack of some type which hung very loosely to one side of the head? This was because, of course, when a person is hung, if you've ever seen someone like this, John, you will notice that the head goes to the side. And this is what it was duplicating here, the hanging, which had occurred to this woman, and the pact that she had made with the devil.
A pact made over 100 years ago and being fulfilled in the 20th century. I'm John Larrabee. The time is 1973, and the persons living in this house are about to embark on a nightmarish journey into hell. How would you conduct an investigation when you came into this home? Where do you begin?
First, I would, of course, interview each and every individual who had experienced any type of paranormal or supernatural activity in the home. While I am doing this, John, Lorraine, who is my wife, is a light trance medium, a sensitive, would go through each room in that house, trying to pick up through vibrations, negative or positive vibrations, so that we would then leave the house, evaluate our findings, and decide what it is we can do to help the family, if indeed there was anything that we could do to help them. In this case, I do not believe that any exorcism, any ritual of a religious nature, or anyone could ever clear that home of the very negative spirits which are involved in it. We have both human and inhuman spirits in this home, which are bringing about these destructive acts. At this point, John, I think that we should take our audience into the Perrin farmhouse. Let them hear for themselves the original interview between myself and Mrs. Perrin, relating her terrifying experiences in this home for over 2 years. See now, Carol, today, November 1st, All Saints Day.
Hey, Morticia.
73. Carol, you had called us up and told us that there were supernatural activity, what you would consider supernatural activity, taking place in your home here. This is my second interview with you. But would you again please relate from the beginning the different types of hauntings, the phenomena that had occurred to you in this home? We could probably start with the clock, with the banjo clock.
Moved in. The hands on the banjo clock, which was neither wound nor set, kept moving themselves from 12 o'clock high till 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
Every night, every morning we'd reset them till 12, and every night they'd move 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
Doors began to open and shut mysteriously.
These are these doors right here, these two doors?
These dining room doors that lead into the small bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
The piano would play mysteriously at night. It was so disturbing that we began to tie doors shut, put things against doors, just so we could get a night's sleep.
And even with this, you had seen string or cord break with the doors tied.
The force of the door forcing itself open.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about the fireplace? You had told me different things that occurred by the fireplace, where you had fainted, where you had the incident with the orange and so forth.
Right. We burn the fireplace constantly to conserve heat in the winter. And I like to cuddle near the hearthstone to get the heat. So I often bring a cup of coffee there in the morning or a piece of fruit in the evening to sit by the fire. And I sat one evening with a sun-kissed orange. My girls all took an orange, and I took an orange. We all sat down and started to cut the orange open, and blood started to drip out of the orange.
Wow.
Did it look like real blood?
It looked like thick, rich red blood, and it frightened the children. They started to scream because they thought I had cut myself with a knife. And we watched it pour ooze out, at least an ounce of it, maybe two, and then it just stopped. And
now, did this drip onto the floor?
It dripped onto my feet and coagulated on my feet, just as blood will when you cut yourself.
Now, what else happened by that fireplace, Carol?
Toward this spring, this coming spring, this past spring rather, March, in that area, I began to sit by the fireplace with my coffee, and each time I'd get up, I'd feel a strange weakness. And one day I just stood up from the hearthstone and fainted and fell against the hearthstone. And then this began to happen regularly when I would sit there. So I began moving away from that area.
And on one occasion, your feet actually went into the fireplace, didn't they?
Well, my husband was here. Had he not been here, I could have been burned, or I could have I hit my shoulder rather badly on the stone.
Now, you had also told us about the phones ringing and your incident in the closet. Could you tell me about this?
Oh, yes. One evening I had taken a bath. We have a room off the bathroom, which is a chimney room where the center chimney was removed, which left like a closet space with a small chimney, furnace chimney running through it. So I went there to dress. It's always warm in that room. And it also doubles as my clothes closet. A coat hanger came down from the rack. I didn't bump it. I didn't touch it. I wasn't near it. I was bending over at the time. Came down off the rack and started pounding me on the head 6 or 8 times, and then hit my shoulder and then dropped to the floor.
Now, there was no logical cause for this that you could find.
Absolutely none. I wasn't anywhere near it. And it was not logical for it to hit me several times. Logically, it should have hit me once and then fallen.
Now, the phones, you had said something about a party one night.
Yes, we had several people over.
Makes you wonder. I don't know why it's not playing. Does
that happen before the seance?
Yeah.
That was the first visit.
Okay, so the first visit came, you drove from Long Island back here.
Yes.
It is.
And what happened?
Ain't it, Nora?
When we were driving back, I was more than aware that Ed was not himself. He was driving in a very erratic manner. I tried to talk with him. I told him I was very hungry. I should remember that. Huh?
I was driving, I thought I was on the wrong side of the road. That's not another. Now we're doing a sequence.
We were driving home and I told Ed I was very hungry because when you communicate in a home like Amityville, when you're there for discernment purposes, I will try sometimes not to eat in advance. So when we were leaving, I told him I was very hungry. Ed was not talking to me.
Very interesting.
Not that he was angry, not because there was any animosity, because there was not. He just was not communicating. He was not acting rational. He was not acting.
Okay, I think they're having
Psychic phenomena. Do you believe?
Here we go.
Do you know? It's all too well known that New England has had its fair share of the unexplainable, stories and mysteries that, after hundreds of years, are as much a mystery today as they were then. What do you know about witches, demons, ghosts, poltergeist activity, even human vampirism? Mysterious phenomena that has plagued mankind since the beginning of time. This is John Larrabee. You and I are about to actually visit some of Connecticut's haunted areas tonight.
Yep.
We'll also bring out many facts about witches, ghosts, and demons with the help of Ed and Lorraine Warren, instructors at Southern Connecticut State College, heading a course in paranormalology and demonology. They are also lecturers throughout the country on the subject and recognized as New England's leading ghost hunters. A great deal of trouble has been taken to ensure the authenticity of what you are about to hear. Many of the stories were actually recorded on the spot where they happened, some hundreds of years ago, and some more recent than one likes to imagine when it's late at night and you're all alone. Today there is a growing interest in the supernatural and a new breed of investigators. Ed and Lorraine Warren aren't just part of that movement, they're its pioneers. For the past 31 years, they have studied, researched, and investigated paranormal activity worldwide. Studies and findings have been verified and documented with the assistance of psychiatrists, doctors, priests, mediums, and the full resources of modern paranormal research. What you are about to hear is not a story. It's a documented case taken from the Warren files. A case of a tranquil farmhouse in Rhode Island that has been the scene of strange and unusual activity for over 100 years. All previous occupants of this house were plagued with misery and suffering, where violent deaths such as murder, suicide, and drowning were the norm for everyone who challenged the house. The interviews you will hear were not staged. They are the actual recordings made during the investigation into the events taking place in this house. Ladies and gentlemen, The Haunted, Chapter 1.
I turned over, and standing next to my bed was an apparition or an entity or something in an old dark gray dress, as much as I could see of it, which was approximately down to the knees and up to the shoulders. There was no head.
What about the history of the house itself? Now, I understand was it the first two rooms of the house?
Yes, were built long before the rest of the house. But
what was the year for that?
Well, I'm not quite sure of that, John. You have to look into the records. But let me say this.
Could you give me a general idea?
Yeah, I would have to say the 1700s was when the house was first built. And, of course, the tragedies that occurred in this home really was what had been more or less the fountainhead for the hauntings which occurred later. We know that tragedies create the ghost syndrome. And of course, this home, as our audience will soon learn, had a number of tragedies which were very unnatural. Many people say to me, why is it usually that it's the older houses, that seem to be haunted? Simply because more people have lived in these homes, more chance of tragedies occurring in those homes. That's why we're called into many of the houses along our seacoast, because they are very old. This is why you have so many hauntings occurring in places like France and England, places where homes date back, 800, 1,000 years even in some cases. So that tragedies do create the ghost syndrome. This home had a number of tragedies, and then to culminate all of these, a woman who practiced witchcraft, who had in her earlier years actually murdered her own child by driving a stake or a nail through the head of the child as a gift, again, to Lucifer, and black magic rituals. This woman lived all of her life in that home, had practiced negative witchcraft, black witchcraft, and then at age 90-some years old, had made a pact with the devil to commit suicide, which is a great insult to the Creator, to take the physical life away from someone. In this case, she had destroyed it on her own. And this, again, goes into black magic and a pact with the devil. The apparition-like figure that Mrs. Perrin had seen was this woman. Remember when she said she could see a black sack of some type which hung very loosely to one side of the head? This was because, of course, when a person is hung, if you've ever seen someone like this, John, you will notice that the head goes to the side. And this is what it was duplicating here, the hanging which had occurred to this woman and the pact that she had made with the devil.
A pact made over 100 years ago and being fulfilled in the 20th century. I'm John Larrabee. The time is 1973, and the persons living in this house are about to embark on a nightmarish journey into hell.
How would you conduct an investigation when you came into this home? Where do you begin?
First, I would, of course, interview each and every individual who had experienced any type of paranormal or supernatural activity in the home. While I am doing this, John, Lorraine, who was my wife, was a light trance medium, a sensitive, would go through each room in that house, trying to pick up through vibrations, negative or positive vibrations, so that we would then leave the house, evaluate our findings, and decide what it is we can do to help the family, if indeed there was anything that we could do to help them. In this case, I do not believe that any exorcism, any ritual of a religious nature, or anyone could ever clear that home of the very negative spirits which are involved in it. We have both human and inhuman spirits in this home, which are bringing about these destructive acts. At this point, John, I think that we should take our audience into the Perrin farmhouse. Let them hear for themselves the original interview between myself and Mrs. Perrin relating her terrifying experiences in this home for over 2 years. See now, Carol, today, November 1st, All Saints Day, 1973. Carol, you had called us up and told us that there were supernatural activity, what you would consider supernatural activity, taking place in your home here. This is my second interview with you. But would you again please relate from the beginning the different types of hauntings, the phenomena that had occurred to you in this home? We could probably start with the clock, with the banjo clock.
Moved in. The hands on the banjo clock, which was neither wound or set, kept moving themselves from 12 o'clock high till 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
Every night, every morning we'd reset them till 12, and every night they'd move to 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
Doors began to open and shut.
These are these doors right here, these two doors?
These dining room doors that lead into the small bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
The piano would play mysteriously at night. It was so disturbing that we began to tie doors shut, put things against doors, just so we could get a night's sleep.
And even with this, you had seen string or cord break with the doors tied.
The force of the door forcing itself open.
Now, what about the fireplace? You had told me the different things that occurred by the fireplace, where you had fainted, where you had the incident with the orange and so forth.
Right. We burn the fireplace constantly to conserve heat in the winter. And I like to cuddle near the hearthstone to get the heat. So I often bring a cup of coffee there in the morning or a piece of fruit in the evening to sit by the fire. And I sat one evening with a sun-kissed orange. My girls all took an orange, and I took an orange. We all sat down and started to cut the orange open, and blood started to drip out the orange.
Did it look like real blood?
It looked like thick, rich, red blood, and it frightened the children. They started to scream because they thought I had cut myself with a knife. And we watched it pour ooze out, at least an ounce of it, maybe two, and then it just stopped. And
now, did this drip onto the floor?
It dripped onto my feet and coagulated on my feet, just as blood will when you cut it.
I wish I would have pictures.
Now, what else happened by that fireplace, Carol?
Toward this spring, this coming spring, this past spring rather, March, in that area, I began to sit by the fireplace with my coffee, and each time I'd get up, I'd feel a strange weakness. And one day I just stood up from the hearthstone and fainted and fell against the hearthstone. And then this began to happen regularly when I would sit there. So I began moving away from that area.
And on one occasion, your feet actually went into the fireplace, didn't they?
Well, my husband was here. Had he not been here, I could have been burned, or I could have hit I hit my shoulder rather badly on the stone.
And you had also told us about the phones ringing and your incident in the closet. Could you tell me about this?
Oh, yes. One evening I had taken a bath. We have a room off the bathroom, which is a chimney room where the center chimney was removed, which left like a closet space with a small chimney, furnace chimney running through it. So I went there to dress. It's always warm in that room. And it also doubles as my clothes closet. A coat hanger came down from the rack. I didn't bump it. I didn't touch it. I wasn't near it. I was bending over at the time. Came down off the rack and started pounding me on the head 6 or 8 times, and then hit my shoulder and then dropped to the floor.
Now, there was no logical cause for this that you could find.
Absolutely none. I wasn't anywhere near it. And it was not logical for it to hit me several times. Logically, it should have hit me once and then fallen.
Now, the phones, you had said something about a party one night.
Yes, we had several people over, maybe 12 people. We were all in the parlor. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And bells began to ring. The only logical thing we could associate it with was the sound of phone bells. So we each went to a different phone and answered the phone, and it continued to ring.
Even after you picked up the receiver?
Even after we picked up the receiver.
And when you hung up the phone again, it still continued to ring?
It still continued to ring. So.
And now there were very terrible incidents where an apparition had appeared to you by your bed. Could you tell me about this, Carol?
Well,
that's cool.
I had been in the city late one evening. My mother-in-law had been in a serious accident. My husband and I went down to help her straighten out those affairs. We got in about 3 in the morning. I went to bed. I went into a dead sleep for about 2 hours. Somewhere around 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up so cold that I thought I was freezing to death. I was just cold unto death. I ran my hand down my arm.
Unnatural cold?
Unnatural cold. And even with the grogginess of sleep, I realized immediately that it was an unnatural cold. Because the heat was on. There was the remnants of a fire in the fireplace. There was no reason, no logical reason for me to be so cold. And I touched myself. I felt like marble.
Very, very cold.
Right. I cuddled up next to my husband to try to get his body heat, and I simply couldn't get warm. As the colder I felt, the more I roused out of the sleep. I turned over, and standing next to my bed was an apparition or an entity or something in an old dark gray dress, as much as I could see of it, which was approximately down to the knees and up to the shoulders. There was no head. There was a black sack of some sort, a woven effect hanging off to one side of the shoulder. And it had on a belt. The dress had a belt. That's why I knew it was a woman. The dress had very distinct tailoring to it. And
would this resemble, for instance, you said that the head hung to the side. Would it be something that would resemble a person that had been hung?
it very possibly could. The head was definitely not where it should have been, which would be between the two shoulders in the middle.
What happened then, Carol?
Well, I was very frightened. I snuck back down. I pushed myself down under the covers and left only my eyes exposed because it was very frightening. She had preempted the area where my bureau was and was standing sort of in my bureau. It was no longer there. And a voice, a kind of reverberating voice, began to come out of the walls. First, very, very low, kind of droning chant. She was saying, "Get out, get out, get out," and it would bounce off of each wall and all of the walls at the same time until it just became, the room became a massive sound. Now, when this happened, I said, well, I have something that my husband can see. And I began to attempt to wake him up. I shook him and I kicked him and I rolled him over. I even at one point sat up in the bed and took his face in my hand and pried his eyes open. And he just continued to sleep like he was dead. And I was so frightened at that point, I gave up on him and went back under the covers. And at this point, the entity moved around toward the foot of my bed and began to do this chant. At the same time, her arms were shaking in rhythm up above her. There was no hand on the arm, just the black line her arm would have been. And she said, I can only remember the first line of what she said. She said, there were like 4 stanzas. I'll drive you out with fiery brooms. I'll drive you mad with death and gloom.
This would be sort of a witchcraft chant, wouldn't it, Carol?
It seemed to be some sort of an established, it was not something she was making up as she went along because it rhymed.
Now, when did this entity disappear?
She moved around toward the foot of my bed and back over to the side of my bed where she was standing. As she did so, the chanting became louder and louder until it became a screech, until the whole room was just, until it almost deafened me. I had to put my hands over my ears. I slid back down under the covers and up into my eyes, just my eyes. She leaned over the bed, and then it was all over. The sound went, she went. Oh, yes, she had a horrible, horrible odor to her, and it lingered for a long time, maybe half an hour after she had disappeared.
What did this odor smell like, Carol?
Well, it's hard to articulate. There's nothing I can compare it to because I've never smelled anything like it before. The only thing I could say is moldy, dead, rotten meat.
What other things had occurred here, Carol, also to you? I know that you had the experience with the door downstairs where it would just be nailed shut with that large plank and this would come off. Was it your husband that nailed it?
It was several large planks were pushed against it, and the wiring was all entangled with this, and it was tied shut. It was even latched shut from the inside. And I woke one morning to find the whole thing had just burst forth as though something large had come through with a great deal of force. All the planks were scattered askew, and the wiring was all ripped out.
Now, you also had other experiences in your home here that were frightening to you. For instance, the death of the children's pet rabbit, which you, I guess, still do not know what had happened here. Could you tell me something about that?
Well, we woke one morning. My husband left early, and his friend, I had overnight guests, to go hunting, or to go fishing rather, excuse me. And they left about 4:30. At about 8:30, the women folk got up. We came into the kitchen, we made coffee. For some reason, somebody looked out the back kitchen door, and the baby bunny was laying on the lawn. It had been split open from under its throat right down.
And you couldn't find any reason for this, could you?
A perfect incision, as though it had been done almost with a razor blade. The cage had been lifted up and moved over. The bunny had been deliberately taken out of the cage.
Mhm.
At first, we thought it was wild dogs, but there was no reason. A wild dog couldn't have lifted the cage.
Yes. Now, something else had occurred to your husband since we were here last. And he had an experience in bed where he had found 3 scratch marks or claw marks that
Oh,
were
yeah.
bleeding.
Well, after the incident in the garden, after I fell,
Oh, yes.
and after I
Could you tell me
passed
about
out in
that,
the garden, I was out working in the garden and picking tomatoes in amongst the tomato stakes. And I had a fainting spell, a weak spell. I knew I was going to go down. So rather than fall forwards or backwards, I just kind of sunk to the ground to hurt myself less. I went down on a tomato stake.
And
That was the last, yes, it impaled.
penetrated you?
It impaled itself in my thigh 2 weeks
Wow.
ago.
These fainting spells that you had told me that you went to a doctor about them and they could find no cause for this.
No, I had brain waves done. I had EKG, complete blood workup.
And since you moved into this house 2 years ago, you have steadily lost weight also.
Right. I went from 130 pounds down to 108.
And they can't attribute this to any physical cause.
No.
Uh-huh. All right, will you continue, please, Carol?
Well, it seems that after the apparition appeared to me, I was no longer troubled by anything, with
Your
the
husband was
exception.
then troubled?
Right. She seemed to turn her attention to my husband.
Mhm.
There was one incident shortly after that. I had moved out of the bedroom, was sleeping in the parlor on the couch with the light on because of the fear of her. She did come to the side of the couch one night. The smell was there. I was wide awake reading poetry. I knew she was in the room because the odor. It's so, you can compare it to nothing else. It's such a distinct odor that I knew immediately she was in the room. And I tried to be very cool, continued reading my poetry. I was laying on my tummy. And I felt something very sharp penetrate the calf of my leg, which was kind of hanging over the couch. And I reached down fast and rubbed it, and I came away with a drop of blood. It was as though she had pierced me with a pin. But she faded immediately. After that, I was saying in my head, in the name of Jesus Christ, go away from me, back where you came from. And I guess that drove her away or
Yes,
something.
as well. In fact, when the sun came up that other occasion was when she disappeared.
Right. The sun was, it was like 5:15, and as soon as the sun seemed to break the hill back there, she was gone.
Just disappeared. Now, what had happened to your husband on this particular?
Well, we were getting ready for going back to school. I had taken all the girls one evening to buy them shoes for school, and he was alone in the house, sitting at the kitchen table eating steamers. And he heard her come up the stairs, the cellar stairs, and unlatch the door. And it's the first time anything had been almost directed at him by this entity, and he was a little bit shaken by it. So he said to her out loud, "Come out here and talk to me, or go to hell back where you came from."
He was getting tougher.
Right.
And was this the same night that he had?
And he said the door, he heard the door click, so she decided to go back down cellar.
Now, was this the very same night, Carol, where you had the experience where he couldn't get up? You had heard him groaning, and you didn't go into the bedroom, and you found the 3 big marks on his arm?
Yes, I had gone for the evening, retired to the couch with the light on, nice and safe, and he continued to sleep in my bedroom. Sometime during the night, I woke up and I could hear him kind of heaving and rolling the same way I had been doing the night she appeared to me, almost some kind of a spastic thing that I don't know if it was fear or what it was causing, but my body was lurching and jumping at it, and apparently the same thing was happening to him because I could hear the bed. And he was moaning, he was whispering, and I said to myself, well, she's in there. But I was too frightened to go in to attempt to disturb what was happening in there. I just stayed on the couch, and this went on for like a good 15 minutes until it was all over. Well, the following morning, I went in to talk to him about it, and he had 3 rather deep scratches, claw marks on his elbow, and there was a good deal of blood on the sheet. And he said that something had disturbed him during the night. He didn't know what had happened to him, but something had happened.
This house has a very tragic history, too. You were telling me about it, Carol. Could we go over this again?
Yes, as far as I've been able to trace, which is only back to 1849, with the oldest deeds in my possession, the house was bought by a family of Arnolds from Salem and Maria Jefferson of Massachusetts. Now, I haven't been able to find where they're buried. Haven't been able to dig up any history on these people. But the Arnolds certainly had a great deal of tragedy, it seems, with every generation after them that lived here. There was Mrs. John Arnold, who at 96, I believe, hung herself in the barn.
Wow.
Johnny Arnold was the son of John, of the same family. Went into the crawl space upstairs and drank horse liniment and committed suicide. There was Harmony Arnold, who was accidentally killed in the house somehow. I haven't been able to find a death certificate on her, so I don't know how. And there was Prudence Arnold, which was of this family. She was one of the young daughters. Was murdered, not in this house, but at the next farm over on Collins Taft Road. She had her throat cut.
How did this come about?
Apparently, she was asked to come over and do some housework while the family went off to church and on a Sunday morning, and she was enticed upstairs and murdered by the caretaker. My throat was cut with a straight razor.
Wow.
And there were cases where people who had lived here had frozen to death?
I'm telling you.
Yes, there were
I'm telling you.
two people who. There was Mr. Edwin Arnold, who went into the village and lost his way on the way home in the evening and died in a snowbank in a swamp and wasn't found until several months later.
This was on the old road down here. What was the name of it?
Sherman Farm Road.
Sherman Farm Road.
He knew a shortcut to get back to the house, and he lost his way in
What do
the
you think
swamp.
about it, Morticia?
Now, there was a fellow who came down from the Douglas way, up this way, on the way to Harrisville, and crawled into an old shed that was
Was that the blacksmith shop?
right. It was at one time a blacksmith shop. It's now torn down. The foundation is there on the edge of the road. He crawled up in there and he froze to death.
And what about the pond in back of your home here? There were a couple of...
Yes, there were. Part of this estate was once owned by some people named Baker,
Oh, yeah.
and their estate was kind of absorbed into
Good,
this
ain't
one.
it?
And the house, the old foundation, still exists down there. And the two of the Bakers drowned in the pond.
Now, first the father drowned, is that correct?
Right, and then the son.
And do you know the age of the son when he drowned?
The father was, I believe, in his 60s, and the son, many years later, drowned in his 40s.
That's a rather weird-looking pond back there. We took a ride down there. In fact, this whole area here seems sort of on the weird side. Beautiful in one way, and yet weird in another. As we drove up here today, we noticed that there were many old farmhouses. Some of them seemed deserted. But anyhow, get on with your story, Carol. Is there anything else that you could tell us about?
Well, there was the evening that my husband and I were watching TV.
Oh, yes, and the loud sound.
And I, again, in front of the fireplace, with my head on the floor, cuddled on the floor, with my head on a pillow. And we had a dog then, who had a way of kind of cuddling up behind my husband's chair and spending the evening with us. The TV was turned down nice and quiet because the children were sleeping. It was a quiet evening. And suddenly about midnight or 12:30, thereabouts, this very loud trumpeting sound went off out of the cellar. It was so loud that the floors vibrated in the house. My head was on the floor, and so I really picked up on the vibrations. Even the walls shook. Some of my bottles, my antique bottles, rattled a little bit. And the dog jumped up, of course, very alert, and started looking around. My husband jumped up and started looking around. And then we all just sat back down because, you know, it's happened before, these things.
Now, this friend of yours, you had a couple that stayed here, have taken care of the children for you. You have 5 daughters. Now, the man one night had tied a cord across one of the doors here and had watched it and had seen this cord break. Could you tell me about that?
Yes, we have a pantry which leads off the parlor, which was at one time, in the old days, the parlor pantry where all the fine china and whatnot was kept. And I used it at the beginning to store my old books and bottles. And it's a very cold room. It's always extremely cold in that room. And we can never keep the door shut. Now, a lot of this type of thing in an old house can be attributed to uneven floors and the sway of the house and all of that. So we said, all right, we'll solve this problem. We'll keep this door shut by tying it shut, because it would open during the night and it would unlatch and swing open, and it was cold. All the coldness would permeate the room. So we tried tying it shut. I didn't think of that. We went away to upstate New York, and my friend and his wife stayed, and they tied it shut, and they sat all night long to watch this door rip itself open. And they would immediately tie it back. An hour or so later, it would rip itself open again. There was just no way that they could keep this door shut.
What about footsteps and other sounds in the house? Did you ever hear something like this? Oh, you told me about your husband's incident.
Right. We hear many such things. So they're almost so common that we don't really make any note of it anymore.
You had also told me that wild dogs or some wild animals had torn your pigs apart out here.
Yes.
As far as you know.
We had two little pigs, about 4 months old. And we woke up one morning, the neighbor's little boy came dashing in the house, and the little pigs were called Romeo and Juliet. He says, Romeo is missing and Juliet's in the pig pen. She's all torn apart. So we went out, and sure enough, the little female was all torn to ribbons in the pig pen, and the other one, we searched her all around, and we found her down in the woods, down near the brook.
Now, you say that dogs might have done this.
Well, for lack of a better explanation, we assumed that dogs did it. We had the dog catcher up, and he looked the pigs over, and he said that we were to be allowed to kill any strays that we saw.
Have you seen any strays around here?
Yes, we did. We killed several of them.
Really? Oh. Okay, Carol. I guess that's about all we went over the last time, wasn't it?
I think, well, there's so many things that happen that I might tend to forget a few of them, but I think that pretty well covers it. Did I tell you about the metal plaque that I found in digging under the woodshed? Digging under the woodshed one day for bottles, not too long after we moved here, because that's the first thing I wanted to get out were the old bottles. I'm a collector. And I found a metal piece about 3 inches in diameter, which was apparently torn from a coffin. It had the name Sumner Walling on it, and the date of birth and the date of death. And I was curious, because as far as I know, there were no Wallings affiliated with it.
Do you still have this metal plaque?
It's very mysteriously disappeared. I had it in the spooky pantry, the one that the door won't shut. I had it up on the 3rd shelf, and when I went back to find it, it was missing.
Oh, you almost had a fire here too, didn't you?
Yes, I did when we were away in New York, just last week, as a matter of fact. I don't know how it happened, but the heat of the fireplace had permeated 2 sections of stone.
The same fireplace that, where the psychic light rod come down. I forgot to talk about this.
Yes, I forgot about that. This has been witnessed by a lot of people also who have visited here. It's only happened twice, but fortunately both times there were people visiting outside of the family who saw this. A beam of light comes down the down the chimney
of that fireplace.
Right. It's, I would say, no thicker than a pencil. Not very much thicker than a pencil. It all happens within the bat of an eyelash, really. It happens so quickly that you just stand there stunned. You don't realize what's happening. Down the chimney, snuffs out the fire, shoots across the room, withdraws itself, and goes back up the chimney, and then the fire comes back.
Comes right back up again?
Right. It's twice it's happened.
And it has passed right through the children that have been standing there.
Yes, there were children sitting on the floor, and it penetrated right through them and back up again.
Now, what we were talking about just before that?
This is amazing. This is simply amazing.
Fire in the house here. The same fire.
The hot ashes, apparently, and we still can't figure out how, penetrated 2 thicknesses of stone
Mhm.
like this one layer going one way and then that much sand,
Mhm.
and ignited the beams underneath the fireplace. And apparently it had been steaming there for a long time before it finally caught. It happened while we were away in New York. One of my daughters smelled smoke. And
Have the children had any bad experiences? I know that you had told me about one that had seen something in her bedroom.
my daughter decided that she was going to open up her fireplace upstairs, which unfortunately turned out not to be a fireplace, but just a continuation of the chimney here. But as she did so, she
Okay, guys. I'm gonna cut that off right there. And I just think that is the most disturbing thing that happened. You know, it's sad. It's disturbing. It really is. You know, I'm just interested to see how many's still watching. A good 6. That's great. But guys, I'm gonna do this. If anybody wants to come up, do it here. Nope. Here and here. Paste. Go there. Babe, what do you think about that, Thunder? It was interesting. It was. Babe, what do you think about it? That's just the most of it. I mean, in here.
Oh,
Hey, what's up?
hey, I watched half the stream in my darn computer, and then I watched the other half on my mobile device because I wanted to lay down on the couch.
What did you think about that, though?
I thought it was interesting.
Did the movie show that?
No. That's the thing. It's way different than the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's way different than the movie. There's several movies of them, though.
Glitter, what do you think about it? Bay said it was totally mind-blowing. Yeah.
It was way different.
Oh, yeah.
The Bleeding Orange, though, I heard that like, 2 or 3 times. I was like, is she repeating?
Well, the tape
it
had was going, I think they had some trouble with their tape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was worried that they would suspend this stream, though, for screen sharing too long.
I mean, I didn't show no names, really. I just showed Eli Warren. I mean, it's just I call it a tribute,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, how was the movie? I mean, what?
The movie was way different.
Wow.
It was creepy, but it wasn't. The second Conjuring was better than the first one.
Yeah.
I went to the theaters to see the first Conjuring.
Now, was the house right in the movie, or did they pick a different house?
I think it was a different house.
Wow.
The second Conjuring was actually the true one.
Yeah.
Because the second Conjuring, they were in New England, I think.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's where all of it took place.
I think so. Yeah.
So
I'd like to do some more research on it.
Oh, more research?
Yeah.
I thought the video though was like 55 minutes or something.
It was. I just cut it off short. I figured, what talking about what happened to the kids. I didn't want,
Oh, you didn't want to put that in there?
Yeah,
Is that why you cut it short?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because of this COPA law.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Oh, I know.
or whatever.
Well, Litter said the movie was kind of good, but they should have followed with the details of the recording you played. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I got my computer chair on this new floor mat.
Oh, okay.
I got a new floor mat yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So it's nice though doing streams like this though. I mean,
It is. Oh, yeah. I'm just interested to find out if anybody from there is actually still living.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine having the person up on the panel actually talking?
Yeah.
About it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is weird though, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, there's like several Conjuring movies.
Oh yeah.
There's not just one. There's like, I got the latest Conjuring.
Now, where's that based out of? Supposedly.
Apparently, it's like before everything happened.
Huh.
They had the new Conjuring.
Yeah.
And then they have Annabelle. Then they have the Conjuring. Then they have the Conjuring 2.
Yeah. Now, the real Annabelle is actually a
Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah. It's in a glass case.
I don't got the real Annabelle, but I got the Annabelle. I got an Annabelle doll.
Yeah.
But it's not the real Annabelle. It's just an Annabelle off the movie.
Now, I read about that case a little bit.
Yeah.
The doll would actually move. No one would be in the house, and the doll would actually move.
Wow.
It would be in one room when they left for work or when they went to work or somewhere. When they got back, it'd be in a whole nother room.
What do you think of my picture?
I've seen that. I'm telling you.
It looks like it's looking at the Phoenix in a TikTok video.
They said, "Oh heck no!" But Bay would be going in one room and see that doll, and she'd be like, "Okay, it's there. I gotta go somewhere." Doll gets back.
I got the doll. The doll's in my room.
Yeah.
I got the doll in my room sitting beside the TV.
The movie doll.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Warren Museum.
I got
Haunted Museum. Mm-hmm.
I got the doll on sale, so
yeah.
I just set it beside my TV, and
Oh yeah.
I got it on sale because I had to wait for the price to drop because it was originally like around $300 for the darn doll.
Yeah.
So I had to wait for the price to drop. It dropped like several $100s, and then I got it.
Oh yeah. Too bad Morticia's busy. I would love for her to come up on panel just for a minute.
Yeah, she'll probably be busy until
Yeah.
She said she's going live around 7.
Yeah, I'd like to get her take on what we heard.
Yeah, I do. I have an Annabelle doll, and it's
Oh yeah, Bay said. Litter said, "Oh, I want one."
Oh, for how much I spent on it, that thing's not going in the trash. No,
that thing be in a case.
Well, no, mine's mine's sitting down on beside the TV.
Yeah.
It hadn't bothered nobody.
Not yet.
Well, I got it 2 Christmases ago.
Uh-huh.
So, but they still sell it. You could probably get the doll online. It's like an 18-inch tall replica
Yeah.
of the doll. And you're more likely able to get that than the actual life-size doll that's in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, you're more likely to get just the 18-inch replica because that's way cheaper than spending what? I done looked at the real doll, by the way. I found the real doll, the actual replica, over $1,000 on darn internet.
Oh yeah, just because it was in a movie. Yeah.
Well, it's in a case too.
Yeah.
When you order it, I think FedEx or something ships it to you.
Glitter
It's not
said
really
I
a
missed.
haunted doll, though. I mean, the doll that you buy, the replica,
Yeah.
it just comes in that glass case.
Wow. Glitter said I mess with my kid's friend so much, and then she said I'm gonna look here in a few.
For you.
Oh.
I got some for you. Come here.
I wonder why they didn't use a Raggedy Ann doll in the movie though. That would be original, you know.
I gave Frank some trolls. He likes them. They're little bitty gooey candies.
Oh yeah, gummy type deal.
Yeah, they're your Frank's your best friend if you're going to go give him darn candy.
Thunder, I think you got a Chucky doll, don't you?
Yep.
Wolfden's got a Chucky doll too.
And the bride.
And the bride. Ooh. Did you go see the new movie though?
No, not yet. I'll probably watch that illegally somewhere for free.
I wonder how it's gonna play out with the new voice.
That's the thing. I mean, do you know the new Zombieland Double Tap?
I think so, yeah.
I seen that for free. Didn't spend a dime.
There you go.
See? I seen it when it was in theaters for free. Didn't pay a dime for it.
Yeah.
You got to find certain websites, you know, and then you'll be able to watch the darn movie for free.
That's good. Darn.
And there's another thing I got, and it's an app. And on the app, you can watch local TV channels on this app. It's got Pop, NBA TV, HBO. What happens if I select that? And it's buffering. There you go.
Yeah.
HBO.
Yep. Glitter said to me too. The first one was better though.
So you hear it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's HBO.
That's cool.
They're showing Valkyrie, and then Aquaman, and then Elite Battle Angel. I'm not even paying for HBO, and I could sit there and watch it.
There you go.
For free.
That's my favorite price.
But it warns you though when you go to select it, it says to protect your VPN and privacy. Do this, do that, do this, do that.
Yeah. It's like you gotta jump the hoop, the 4 jumping jacks, make 4 smiley faces on camera, and all this, and this.
But yeah, I done looked. You can watch HBO and you can watch Showtime.
That's nice. That's cool.
And you can watch Stars for free, but I already pay for Stars, so
yeah.
I'm just looking at the channels that that I don't have. Back in the day, I used to have, like I said, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, all those channels. But if you have cable, it's going to turn into like what, $300 or $400 a month?
Yeah.
Having all those channels?
Oh yeah, most likely.
Yeah, it'll turn to like $300 or $400.
Yeah.
If you hear that, that's me popping a dog.
Uh-oh.
He's acting bad.
Which one?
Frank.
Oh, Frank, what'd you do? Looked at you like, I didn't do a thing. I don't know what he's doing.
He was digging in the carpet.
Uh-oh.
And when I went to go give him some love taps,
Uh-huh.
he backed up real darn quick
Uh-huh.
and knocked down the table.
Oops.
He knows when it comes to me, I don't mess around.
Darn thunder, $350 to $400. Yeah, I can believe it.
Well, I mean, okay. When you get cable, they give you this good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's too good to be true.
Oh yeah.
And your bill's lower than $100. Well, no, like around $120, $130.
Uh-huh.
And you have HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, Stars, the Movie Channel, all the premiums.
Yeah.
And they lock you in for 2 years. Same price.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 2 years is over, they start jacking up the prices little by little.
Yep.
And then before you know it, you're paying, if not almost full price for each package.
Oh yeah.
And then you're spending a fortune. But then you use what do you call them? Like these credits.
Uh-huh.
Say, can I have a deal? Can I have a deal? Can I have a deal? They give you a deal for a while, a few times at least.
Yeah.
But at least after 4 or 5 years, those deals are gone.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at a $300 or $400 bill.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So you might as well just like switch over. So I switched over and got Dish.
Yeah.
And Dish is way better.
Oh yeah.
Because you get the packages because you can get 250 plus for a low price.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get 250 plus for a low price. So
That's true.
but yeah, that story that you showed today was interesting.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of wanting to do some more research on it.
Yeah.
I would love to find out if anybody's still living from there and see if they want to come up one week.
I thought about printing out a picture of a possum and putting it up on a darn, putting it up somewhere, like hanging it up
Uh-huh.
outside somewhere.
Uh-huh.
You go somewhere, you hang up posters,
Oh yeah.
and I could just put up there missing cat.
Well, it's gonna be like, have y'all seen my cat that's missing this poster? I'm telling you.
But yeah, you can get the doll from The Conjuring, but like I said, you're more likely able to get. Actually, you're more not likely able to get if you if you want a cheap one version of it.
Uh-huh.
Just get Living Dead dolls, The Conjuring, Annabelle.
Okay. Yeah.
You can get that for like $60,
Yeah.
maybe 40. You're more likely able to get the 10-inch tall doll than the 18.
Oh yeah.
It's shorter than my Chucky doll, but you got Hulu Live,
Uh-huh.
Pluto TV,
I got that. It's pretty good.
It's all right. I mean, it's okay if you don't. Let's say if you don't have cable or you don't have Dish,
Yeah.
and you have unlimited internet,
Uh-huh.
then it's worth it.
Yeah.
But if you have Dish, you might as well just find something on TV.
Yeah.
Because even though Pluto TV's all right, I mean, they do show some interesting stuff, but it's not as good if you was to sit there and watch Dish.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, because Dish, there's channels where there's no commercials. Pluto always has darn commercials.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
I used to go to, was it a website? Like I said, there was another website that you could watch HBO on full screen. The thing I just went to, you can't watch it on full screen.
Yeah.
But the website I used to go to, you can watch HBO on full screen for free. Get an HDMI cord, plug it into your TV, and you can watch HBO through your TV for free.
Oh, that's cool.
But it turned into an unsecure website, which meant that
But
the virus risk was medium. And I wasn't about to risk that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
Plus, they
risking
can
my
take your
phone.
information, too.
Yeah, and I'm not risking my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Someone I knew, and this is funny, but I know this is way off subject to the paranormal because we just veered like left. But somebody I knew made the most dumbest mistake, and they didn't get in trouble yet, but they put their credit card into a pirated website.
Mm.
You know PrimeWire?
I've heard of it, yeah.
It's called PrimeWire AG. It's where you can watch movies that are in theaters and stuff.
Yeah.
They put their darn credit card in there. That's dumb.
I'm like,
and they tell you,
Uh-huh.
I went to go watch a movie, right? And I went to go watch something I really wanted to see. And I'm like, I ain't doing that because, like I said, I'm not putting no darn credit card in there. But it did say in order to watch some of these movies, you got to put your credit card in here.
I wonder why.
They said they're not going to charge you nothing. They just want your credit card information.
See, that's how I can figure out. Okay.
You know, and yeah, it is true. You can watch on PrimeWire if you have a really good ad blocker or a really good ad blocker.
Yeah.
You can watch any movie that's in theaters for free.
You too, Glitter.
Oh, you have a
Take
good
care.
evening, Glitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I modded somebody new today.
Oh, cool.
Reaper Man's now a mod.
Yeah.
I had no problems with him. I know there's a lot of people that do, but he's always I've always had a wrench on his channel.
Yeah. Hi, Amanda. I didn't see you. How you doing?
Yeah, it's wild now that we're all getting along with each other.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a good thing though, too.
Yeah.
You're like,
Ooh.
Oh,
Is it locked or unlocked? It's unlocked.
Yeah, it's unlocked. I don't know what it is.
Twitter. Okay, I can actually say this because it's public.
Yeah.
All right. Good, and I follow her too, and she follows me. Stacy tweets, does Abe remind anyone else of Norman Bates, idolizing his mother, demoralizing women? He does wrong, then profusely apologizes.
Oh.
Huh.
Makes a good point.
I gave that tweet a like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like,
Hey, boss.
hey, boss, 15 or 15 boss. Yeah, Boss 510 popped in my stream earlier. I had, me and her, we get along.
Yeah.
I try to get along with a lot of people. Only people it's kind of hard to get along with, and I ain't is Tuna's people.
Oh, yeah.
But, guest mob, I've been getting along with them.
Yeah. I mean, why not,
But I don't, like I said, I could say this over and over and over again. That just because we're getting along doesn't mean you don't see us in as extremes.
I don't think I've ever been in there.
I've been in there, but not in a long, long time.
I mean, I've watched him, but I haven't been in the streams though.
Yeah, I've watched them too, but I haven't typed in there in a long, long time. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean I'm trying to start anything. I'm not. I'm just saying that when it comes to Isaac streams, I just like if I watch, I lurk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Because you can't get in trouble for lurking. I lurk everywhere. I mean, just
Yeah.
like I said, you've seen it, I've seen it. You ever go into streams and you're lurking, and then the person that's talking smack on you thinks that you're not even in there,
Uh-huh.
and they're just sitting there just running their mouth.
Uh-huh.
You've seen it several times.
Oh yeah.
Like, remember Linda?
Uh-huh.
She ran her mouth, and I think it was about you or something.
Oh yeah, her. Yeah.
And then she's like, and you know why they do that? Because they think you're not watching.
Uh-huh.
When really it's like this. Just because we're not in there doesn't mean we're not watching.
Exactly.
Because we're watching. So, because we lurk everywhere.
Uh-huh.
There's eyes in the sky. And even if we're not lurking, someone else is.
Yep.
There's always somebody that's lurking. Because that's the thing. If there's like 80 people in a stream, especially if they're watching BBY or whoever,
Mm-hmm.
some of those people that are lurking are guest mob.
Yep.
And some of them are Team Truth.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said, any new people that come to Team Truth, it will not be a good idea if you were up in BBYs.
Mm-hmm. Nah.
Same goes for Guest Mob. If you're new in Guest Mob and you're going in supporting Isaac, it would not be a good idea being up in BBYs, being nice to him, because BBY
Yeah.
is the enemy. I've seen people that they try to be nice. I think all of us have at one point tried to support everybody.
Uh-huh.
It don't work that way.
Nah.
I mean, I've seen it time and time again. I mean,
And
what's
then
that
I
called? Being neutral?
Uh-huh.
You know you can get rid of the leaves, right, James?
Get rid of what?
You know the leaves that are on the screen?
How do I do it?
You go to branding, I think.
Okay.
And then there's one that's got like the background with the leaves or whatever.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you can turn that off. I think, yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
okay. Okay.
See?
Huh.
That look better?
Oh yeah. I didn't know you could turn it off. I just left it up there. I'm like, tells you how much I know about it, don't it?
I figured that out a while ago. See, I help out with a lot of stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
figured that out a while ago, and I was like, ooh, I can remove those leaves. I'm like, it's not fall anymore.
Yeah. They need to. I got a background, but you got to pay to put it darn thing on there, and you put the background on it.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay $25.
Hello, Morticia.
What are you doing up there?
We just got done watching that. What's your take on it?
Well, I missed a lot of it. I had to do some stuff when Honey came in, and but I seen part of it. You know, it's a big mystery, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So what all parts were they talking about? Because I've seen so many of them.
The one part was where blood came out of an orange,
Yeah.
and someone saw. I think it was the lady saw a figure at the end of her bed telling her to get out. Didn't have arms.
Yeah. Well, there is the blood with the orange in it.
Uh-huh.
That could be kind of debunked, they say, because in California they do have trees that I don't know if you know this, but it's called the blood orange.
Oh
And when you
wow.
cut it open, it
Uh-huh.
literally looks like blood.
Wow.
So that could be, debunked.
Mm-hmm.
They could not know that. A lot of people don't know that, but you can even Google it because
Yeah.
I've had it. They're super, super sweet.
Yeah. And they were talking about the clock, banjo clock,
Uh-huh.
with the arms of the clock went from
Arms of the clock.
yeah, the banjo clock. It'll go from 12 o'clock to I think you said 5:15, just like that, and it not be
Yeah.
wound up or nothing.
Yeah. Well, Lorraine and Ed Warren, they're like super, super famous, right?
Yeah.
And I told you that I personally knew Lorraine and Ed's grandson,
Uh huh.
and pretty much took over their whole paranormal investigations, the museum. I mean, other people do run it, but he's behind it. And
Wolfton's showing his Annabelle. Hey Maynard, how you doing?
See?
Yep. I just don't know why they didn't pick a Raggedy Ann doll and put it in the movie.
It's cool looking at it. See the details.
Oh yeah.
See, if you get that one, you're lucky.
Yeah. Morticia, have you seen inside the Warren Museum?
I don't know where Morticia went.
Oh, she'll probably.
She gone.
Well, but yeah, I'm surprised they didn't use the Raggedy Ann for the.
It wouldn't have
okay,
been as
sorry
creepy.
about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just
sorry
showed the
about
Annabelle doll.
Yeah, I would love to go to that museum. I think that would be amazing.
Oh yeah. They said don't touch nothing though.
Absolutely not. I mean, even walking in, it's just the ominence of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's very dark. There's like all kinds of artifacts. Like it's just evil.
Oh
Everything in
yeah.
there is pure haunted.
Oh yeah.
I would absolutely love to go.
Shoot, yeah. I'd be like, let's go.
So, what got you into paranormal? Have you ever had an experience or anything like that?
Yes, I have a couple actually.
I still got to show you that image.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, tell me about it.
Well, when we moved in the house I'm at now, this is just one of them. When we were moving in, that one of the movers looked outside and said there was someone standing out there. Well, we all opened the door, looked outside. There was no one there. And the mover said, yeah, it looks like a dark figure, shaped as a man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was gone when we all looked out there.
It's just a dark figure, like a
Uh-huh.
shadow person.
Uh-huh.
And you live out there in the woods, right?
Yeah.
And there's no telling what has happened on that land,
Uh-huh.
from years ago. It could be Native American land, war, battle. I mean, I don't know. Do you know the history of your land out there?
I don't. I've been kind of trying to find it. See if I can look online and can't really find nothing about it.
You could go to the library
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them in the library and ask them, tell them that tell them your address and
Yeah.
ask them if they've got any information on this piece of property because you know strange things go on and you just want to know if there was any type of information. They'll help you.
Yeah. And then I got
Yeah.
another one. It was the house we was before we moved into this one.
Uh-huh.
Well, we found out it was haunted. Had 3 ghosts in it. I didn't think nothing of it. Here I was in bed sleeping. I'd go up and use the bathroom.
Your neighbor.
Walk through there. I saw this guy. I could tell you exactly what he had on and everything. He had on white shorts, red tank top, blue and white tennis shoes, and brown hair. Well, there's this guy like he was running past me, had exactly that on. And I turned and looked, and he went right into the closet. Hadn't seen nothing from him.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's energy all around us.
Oh yeah.
You know, um, like when I had my paranormal group, Native
Uh-huh.
American Paranormal Society, I still have my ghost equipment. I keep saying that I've done a video on it before, but everyone's like, I didn't see it. But I know that, when I first got my equipment, we would just go out and like just do test runs and all of that.
Yeah.
And we would also go to graveyards. Well, when we went to a graveyard, I took my daughter because she was very into the paranormal stuff too. And
Uh-huh.
we were out there using different equipment and things were going off and we were getting a lot of activity and stuff like that. So we went home later that night and I had a big, huge toy box that I had from my granddaughter when she would come over and I'd watch her.
Uh-huh.
So later that night, we went to bed and everything, and then all of a sudden, some of the toys in that box started going off. And I knew
Wow.
immediately that I had brought something back with me. I had brought something attached to me. And I knew better, because when I go and do anything paranormal, I always take sage and I always take certain things that are protection for me.
Uh-huh.
I don't really get into what I take, but everybody has something or something that they feel that is a tool for protection, and I didn't take anything with me, and I usually smudge before I go, and
Uh-huh.
I definitely smudge and close. I call it closing the circle off
Uh-huh.
before I get, in the car and come home. That way, I let them know that, you're not allowed to go home with me. You're not allowed to follow me or attach to me in any way. And so as soon as the toy box started going off, I knew exactly. I was like, oh my God. Well, my daughter the next day says, Mom, I feel like a little girl is playing with me. Like I feel her, I sense her. I know it's a little girl. Um, and I feel like she's attached to me. And I go, really? And she goes, yeah. And I told her, I said, well, the toy box went off last night. And she's like, yeah, that's her. And she even called her Susie. And I'm like, she said she could describe her and everything. And I said,
Wow.
well, we need to do a smudging. She's like, no, 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 no. I don't want it to leave. I go, you don't want it to go? I mean, because she knows. I mean, anything, it could trick you. They can make you think it's a little girl when it's actually not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was a playful little spirit and it lingered around for about a month and then all of a sudden nothing. But there's all kinds of stuff that, I've witnessed, I've seen. I've showed you the
Uh-huh.
floating head that we did the investigation in the school.
Yeah.
And hi Mustang, how are you?
Hi, Mustang. Oh.
Yeah, how you doing? I see the one and only Bay. I like that.
Uh-huh.
I like that. Thunder, thunder. What's going on? Who else is all up in here?
Maynard.
Maynard. Well, welcome. I'm sure a lot of people have, paranormal or have experienced it. I was talking to
Yep.
my sister not too long ago. Has
Yeah.
anybody ever when you were a little kid, when you were little, think back to when you were a little kid. Have you ever seen something that was so scary that in your mind you thought, well, that was either a dream or it was, you just chalked it up as nothing? Think back when you were little, because most people think, you know what? Yeah, matter of fact. And if you do, let me know.
Now I seen something when I was little, but I wouldn't call it scary though.
No, what was it?
Well, my grandfather passed away back in 1973. Well, after we buried him, you know, 1 or 2 nights after that, I was in my bed and I woke up. I was thinking, nah, I'm dreaming or whatever. He stood at the end of my bed. He had on exactly what he wore when he was driving his diesel. And standing right beside him was a man dressed in white, long hair, and a beard right beside him.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Wolf?
What?
Have you ever felt or seen or sensed anything paranormal
I've seen shadow people.
in your house?
Yep.
Have you ever noticed like anything, like you put something there and you go to get it and it's gone and no one else has been in the house?
What I noticed was them running up and down the halls.
Yeah.
Like they would
Yep.
like he would run down the hall and then disappear.
Yeah.
I've also noticed like when I would lay in bed, I would see like
Uh-huh.
this woman. She would appear from over me, and she'd be
Old
looking at me.
woman.
Yeah, it was an older woman,
Wow.
and she would smile. And then when I would go to look at her, she'll disappear.
Do you know who she is?
Nope. She had like white hair though.
Huh.
Could be your guardian angel.
Hmm.
You know, it could have been your guardian angel. We all have one.
But my
You know,
dogs
it.
don't feel uncomfortable with it or anything.
Well, that's good. That's good because animals do sense. They
Yeah.
say if there's energy around you, you'll all of a sudden you'll you'll feel like you're being watched. The hairs on your arm will start rising up, or the hair behind your neck.
One more.
You'll all of a sudden feel a change in the energy of the room. It'll start
One
getting
more, Frank.
cold.
One more.
Get better,
And
Kara.
you also can smell, like if somebody was a smoker, you'll smell cigarettes, or if
Oh,
you know if it's bad, you'll smell sulfur or death, rotten meat.
Uh,
Or if a woman wore a certain type of perfume, you'll smell her perfume or flowers
no.
or something like that. Or if you're walking into a room and you feel like you walked into a spider web and there's nothing there, you walked into an energy. If the lights flicker, if
Well,
you go through batteries a lot.
oh yeah.
huh. Yeah.
Um, when I experience like a spirit nearby, I sense that there's someone here. You know, especially when I'm
Yeah,
asleep. I always sense there's someone nearby,
Yeah.
but I never laid in bed and went, "Oh my God, there's a bad spirit." You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Hey, Morticia, when you was doing the ghost hunting adventures, was there ever a building that you didn't want to do one in?
Honestly, the ones that I don't want to, that I get the feeling not to go in, is the
Uh,
ones I want to go in.
yeah.
Like I have a struggle within myself because
Uh
Frank smells like Febreze.
huh.
I
I'm
sprayed
wanting
Frank
to.
down with Febreze. Some of the
There's a
Febreze
place here called the Bell Witch Cave, and I want to go do a ghost thing in that.
He's love.
Hi, Frank. Frank said, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, y'all didn't
can you
even
hear
notice.
me?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't even. I hear you. Y'all didn't even notice. I was feeding him gummies the whole entire time we were live. For the last several minutes, I was feeding him gummies. He loves the gummies.
Yep.
Where did Morty
Be
go?
back. She should be back, hopefully.
Oh, turn off the camera.
Oh, Kara said it was your grandma wolf.
Huh?
Kara said it was your grandma wolfed in. There she goes.
Probably was.
There
But
we
this
go.
looked like a skinny lady.
Sorry about that.
That's the thing. It looked like a skinny lady.
You having
Hold
bad
on one
weather,
sec.
Morticia?
Hold on.
Okay, well then I see you got the picture of Amy up there.
Amy and Adam.
That's been a good stream.
I don't know if y'all remember it though, but do you remember Morticia uploading videos of rats on cocaine?
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
I got Morticia into it. She started uploading the videos.
Yeah, Kara. Keep me informed. Kara's going on her way to the hospital. She's
Okay, I'm back.
all right.
You remember that, Morticia?
What?
You uploaded the videos of the rats on cocaine, the cartoon about the rats,
Yeah,
when we were going at Amy?
yeah.
That was hilarious.
You showed it to me, fucker.
Yeah, I got you into it. I thought it was
But
funny.
I thought I got cut off. What's going on? Kara's going to the hospital.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. She says on my way to the hospital. I just told her to get feeling better.
Oh damn. Yeah, get to feeling better. Whatever's going on. Hope it's okay. No, but yeah, I've gone into buildings that I know like I shouldn't. Hold on a second.
Okay.
That was so random.
It was. Oh, I can believe you, Kara.
Like somebody's on panel watching porn.
Now we know. That's Wolfstein's gift. No?
Now that's having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Kara, keep me informed. Oh, okay.
Do you see the thunder laughing?
Yeah. I don't blame her. Getting checked out. Yeah, yeah.
It's ASMR.
What is ASMR?
It's apparently supposed to relax you.
Okay. Oh, she got blue. Oh, that's right, Kara. Ooh.
People are like, what are they watching? Well, you can't get us because it's just noises.
Well, having fun too and discussing the paranormal and stuff. I enjoy this, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody getting along in the chat. Everybody, we're having a good stream, you know.
There you go. There's your
Uh-huh.
pillow talk on on Fiery Phoenix's panel.
The paranormal pillar talk. There you go.
Oh, God.
This has been such a good stream, though.
Oh yeah, we've had fun. I mean,
We always do, though. You know,
yeah.
we try to have a good time. We try to laugh, try to cut up.
Do you remember though, where we did the streamed A to Z on naming the food?
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget that. I typed in jalapeno poppers and the word was blocked.
I don't know why that is. I don't understand that. I even asked YouTube people that. They said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah." And I gave them the link to the stream. And they said, "Let me check into it." Of course, you know how Team YouTube is. Well, let me check into it. You know, nothing back. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, well.
But yeah. Now, like I said, the moaning sounds is probably liable to got some people up in here now.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably sitting in there like, what's going on over at James's now?
I mean, you know, you have a good stream. You want to just, you know, there's a lot of stress on YouTube anyway. Why not have a fun one, you know?
We use a lot of darn data when we do the StreamYards.
Uh-huh.
Because we also have to open up the YouTube chat itself, like because the chat's delayed.
Yeah.
And if a troll comes in and starts problems, you have to open up the darn YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Because it's faster on YouTube.
And I don't know why that is. I wish they'd go back to Hangouts, but you know.
Yeah.
Or try something else.
Hangouts.
Uh-huh.
Hangouts ain't. I mean, I never figured out how to do the Hangout streams.
You would have to get everybody's email and type the emails in, and oh, it's a headache. This you just send the link in a chat or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Or what? Better yet, what they need to do is they need to have like unlimited StreamYard streaming, but you have this, you know, the picture of the brand.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to pay extra, you get the overlays.
Yeah.
If you want to pay for the full version.
Yeah.
That way people could stream at peace with unlimited.
I don't see why they give you only 20 hours a month.
I don't either.
I mean,
but guess what?
Uh-huh.
Mine refreshes like on the 8th or the 9th, one of those days.
Yeah.
So, and I have enough room for one more panel.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm going to do that panel, I'm going to save it for a day where I know everybody's going to be able to be up here.
Uh-huh.
And then do a panel that day.
Oh, yeah.
I can. But I don't want to do a solo panel for my last panel, you know.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that people are going to be around.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like you. I'm like, okay, I want to have a good panel. I want to, you know, one day, you know, I'm not saying like next week or something. One day have like a panel, and we just, I don't know, we could discuss like, you know, everybody's, we just pick topic, you know.
Oh, a topic?
Yeah, we could just pick one day or whatever. Instead of that game me and you and Morticia and Nora tried to play. You remember that one? We had to name them. Oh, God. I'm surprised I remembered them all. I'm like, okay, I got to do this, you know. I'm telling you, it's just, you know, have some fun on YouTube. Shoot. Yeah, there's going to be drama, but darn, you don't want to have it every day.
Nah. I mean, look at what we did today. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked a little bit of drama, but it wasn't too bad.
No,
We didn't go in on anybody, you know.
I don't plan on it unless
So
why even have you know
you
why
know,
even have drama if you don't have to have it, you know?
I can't wait
Uh-huh.
for tomorrow night. I'm gonna make me some steaks.
Oh, who you rooting for?
The Chiefs.
My team didn't make it in.
It's gonna be between the Chiefs and the 49ers. I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, we was hoping the Titans would make it, but you know how that goes.
No offense, I don't want nothing to do with Colt 49ers. But like I said, I'm not rooting for the 49ers just because of the YouTuber Colt 49ers. I don't like them.
Yeah. Hey.
But wow, we've been live for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, when did your StreamYards refresh?
I got checked. I had plenty of time on my other, because I don't go live every day. You know, I may do twice a week, if that.
If you want to get unlimited, I wonder if you can do this.
What's
Create 30 YouTube accounts.
Oh gosh.
And if you use up your 20 hours on one, like after you use up your 20 hours, then create another account called Fiery Phoenix 2. Go live on that one, use your 20 hours on that one, then create another one called Fiery Phoenix 3.
Yeah.
Then Fiery Phoenix 4, and Fiery Phoenix 5.
I forget all my passwords.
Can you imagine though? They would call you like one of the biggest trolls on the internet if you had like 30 accounts. And you logged in on each one doing 20-hour streams.
Oh yeah. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do it on this one now. StreamYard be like,
StreamYards would get to you.
Yeah.
There's Morticia.
Yep, there she is.
Sorry, it's crazy over here today.
Understandable.
Yeah. So what y'all talking about?
Are you eating?
I'm eating some nuts.
Oh. You know why vegetarians give good head, right?
Uh-oh. Why is that?
Because they're used to eating nuts.
Only Wolf did.
Fuck Wolf, man.
Here he is, I'm telling you.
Because I love eating nuts, right?
Yeah.
So we went to the store and there was a guy there and I walked up to him. I go, "Excuse me, sir, but where's your nuts?" He's all, he's over there. It fucking threw him off, and I was legitly asking for nuts. But after I said it, I realized like where his mind went. It was awkward.
I bet where Wolf's mind went just there too.
Because like he goes, "What do you eat?" And I go, "Nuts." And he goes, I love nuts. These are it's called Nutty Bliss.
Oh God.
And they got really, I'll take a picture of it. They're fucking good. And I'll get like 2 different types of bags of like trail mix nuts. And I'll throw them all in a big bowl and I'll just mix it all up because I can't decide on which one I want. So I'll get the ones I want. Throw them all in a big old bowl. I'll mix them all up and then I'll put them back in the bags and split them between me and my husband.
Yeah.
And then you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Hey, Steven.
Did you hear the story about that woman? She was drunk and she went down to the store and went to go buy beer.
Oh, what about it?
She dropped the beer on her baby.
Oh no.
It was light.
Yeah, it was light beer.
Oh,
I wore that joke out.
I got you.
I can't say the joke about the baby that got his foreskin removed and put on his eyelids. That's just too much.
well, it's just like
Well, you done fucking started, so you might as well start it.
Yeah, you might as well go ahead.
He was born cockeyed.
Oh God.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
My dad told that joke in a drive-through.
Oh my.
To a random stranger.
Ooh, Red Lobster.
He's like, I don't care if you get offended by this. I'm gonna tell you this joke. I want you to hear it.
Oh, I need you to fucking write down all these jokes for me.
And what's good about fingering a gypsy on her period? You get your prom read for free.
Oh! Jesus! Fucking Christ! Motherfucker!
Now, fun fact of
I
the
don't want
day.
these nuts.
Fun fact of the day: this Jesus knew Nine Inch Nails before they were even a band.
Uh-oh.
And there's one. It's like it was a meme of Jesus getting whipped. It says, "Come on, hit me harder. Call me your dirty little savior."
Oh no.
Oh. Fuck.
And another one of him getting nailed to the cross says, "Come on, I hit your mother harder last night."
Oh.
Damn!
Oh.
Son of a bitch!
That's Wolf Den for you.
You know why Jesus can't play hockey? Because he keeps getting nailed to the boards.
Wizard, what's up?
Oh,
Well, that
lordy,
ain't-
lordy.
Well,
You know Chuck Norris, he walked on, Jesus walked on water?
mm-hmm.
Chuck Norris walked on Jesus.
Oh no.
Do the one. Say the one. Say the one about the abortion.
There's one. It's like, what's the difference between Jesus and a painting of Jesus?
What?
It only takes one nail to hang the painting.
Well, it's just
Damn.
it's just like you know Jeff Dunham, right? Comedian.
Yes.
He was doing The Night Before Christmas. Well, his puppet Peanut was asking, too bad they ain't here Santa ain't hung up jock straps.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and little Susie goes to school next day and says, well, what'd you get for Christmas, Susie? And she said, nuts.
Ah. What's a pedophile's favorite shoes?
Uh-oh.
What?
What's a pedophile's favorite shoes?
I don't know what.
White Vans.
Oh my God.
Say what you want about pedophiles, but they do drive slow in kids' zones.
God.
Fuck.
Well, you know Santa Claus' favorite snack. Oh. And also a hooker's favorite snack.
What?
Ding dongs.
Here's another joke that's going to send me to hell.
Uh-oh.
What's the hardest part about being a pedophile?
What?
Fitting in.
Only Wolf did. Only Wolf did.
Wolf.
Here comes the strike.
Wolf.
We're going to have to aim this street to
I
street.
don't even know what to say. You got me fucking speechless.
Uh-oh.
motherfucker.
Just scream.
Only
I
Wolfton.
have,
Only Wolfton.
I, babe, Wolf got me motherfucking speechless.
What's the difference between oral and anal sex?
Uh-oh.
Oral makes your day, anal makes your whole week.
God. You done got more
Oh
teeth?
my god. Oh my god. Oh my
Hey,
god.
Wicked Wizard. See, people claim it's like, oh, Wolfden's innocent.
Yeah, we know.
No, we know, huh, Jay? We're in
Yeah.
a group chat with him
Yeah.
when he gets going.
Yeah.
Hey, get your ass up here, YT.
Oh, Mark,
Oh.
here's another one. Mark Riddle goes to court, and the judge says, how does 5 to 10 sound? Mark replied, you said sexy.
You cut out. I didn't hear it. Thank
No.
God.
It's a joke about Mark Riddle.
I'm telling you.
Well, there goes our show for the paranormal talk.
Paranormal jokes.
But we got the paranormal part in there, though.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good, though.
What do you call a nun in a wheelchair?
What's the one about the beef stroking off?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What do you call a herd of cows masturbating, beef stroking off? What do you call a dog with no back legs?
Uh-oh.
A drag.
God.
What is it? One thing you can say about a pedophile is they go slow in the school zone.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. I know a lot of jokes.
You've got endless jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every fucking one shocks me worse than the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, the baby joke, that was probably the worst one.
You need to do some tuna jokes. Some fish jokes.
Ah, fish jokes. I'll have to think up of some. And I remember you remember me and you, James, we did a whole entire string talk about midget jokes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess, like I said,
Cuddy, chopped up.
if you're married to a midget, I guess the marriage will be short.
Yeah, hold on, Wizard.
I mean, if you're looking for a midget to be in a relationship with, are you having low expectations?
God.
Dislikes probably skyrocketed today.
I hadn't even checked.
Let me check. I bet you they skyrocketed. Let me look.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong stream. There you go.
Uh-oh.
Wrong stream. No.
Really?
Surprised. Only 2 dislikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, Wizard. It's been a good show.
The person that took a dump on the elevator, they took that crap to a whole new level. Well, there she is.
Yep. There's Wizard. What's up, Wizard?
What's up?
Been a while.
Hey, Wizard.
Hey, long time no talk, sweetie. Oh my God.
Wizard.
What's up?
Dum dum dum.
I think
I think Morticia's having problems with their audio, or
yeah.
Oh,
I am because
Dang
I
it.
don't have my earplugs in.
Oh, okay.
you know
So,
why
yeah.
they can't wear tampons, right? Because they keep tripping over the string.
Sorry, I've been
Do
MIA
what?
for a while.
It's all good.
Yeah, midgets, they can't wear
Yeah.
tampons because they keep tripping over the string.
I'm gonna go though, guys.
You
Okay.
getting ready for your stream soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in the chat because it's messing up.
All right.
Okay.
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 Yeah, her.
No, that's supposed to be gentleman. No, I was in Lipton's live stream the other night, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think me and you did a panel too. Wicked Wizard.
Yeah. That was the first time I was on your panel.
Yeah, we had fun too.
Yeah, we did. Nobody was sitting there talking crap.
Oh, yeah.
It was a show stream.
Yeah.
And the stream's still up.
Yeah, I noticed.
Oh, yeah. Ain't it? Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I was explaining to Whipton what was going on. So he knows about that other
Situation.
channel.
Yeah.
He didn't even
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So yes, sir.
I'm stuck eating candy, so
Uh-oh. What you eating now, Wolf, then?
trolls.
More trolls.
He loves to eat those puppets.
I did a quick stream today earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
I wonder if this
I
stream
didn't
should
get
be
to,
age restricted or not.
you know what? I didn't
Uh-huh.
even get your notification when you both went live.
That's see, YouTube's been that way. It's crazy.
Yep. And I've been trying to sign into my other platform.
Uh-huh.
It won't let me sign in, so I got to figure out what the hell's going on with it later.
Huh. That's odd.
Oh well, there's another platform I do too, but Mr. Whipkin knows what it is.
Yeah.
We shall not speak about it over YouTube.
Oh, yeah. It's been quiet. I mean, I'm just.
It feels good to be back,
Oh, yeah.
so to speak. Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to call you back the other day, James, and I totally spaced it.
Yeah.
By the time I was going to call you back, you were already in bed.
Yeah, it was a long day, I guess.
Yeah,
This time change what gets me.
right.
Soon it's going to change again, what I heard.
Yeah. I'm trying to give my brother a little bit of cash that I have for his birthday tomorrow. So he didn't
Oh,
want
now,
it.
Wolf. You're bad, Wolf.
Here comes Miss D. She gonna be bad.
So, James, what are
Yeah.
we doing next week?
This week coming
No, a
up,
week from Wednesday.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know till that time gets here.
All right. Well, I figure we go live on a Wednesday.
We can do it.
A
Or
week
don't you
from
do
this
your
coming
mixing on
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Sorry.
We can do that.
What was that? What?
Doesn't James go to do his missing on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, darn. I can do it after that.
Thursday?
Yeah, I can do it either Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, you know what? Well, I guess it
Uh-huh.
really doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
I believe Lipton has a great memory.
Uh-huh.
Don't you think? What? what we're talking about? That's what's happening less than 13 days away now.
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay.
That's true, babe. I do.
My birthday.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? That's just another day.
But how are you gonna be? Are you gonna be 83?
Oh, I want to be 94, actually.
Oh, 94.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Butterfly.
James is just going to be 5 places. James is just going to be 5 again.
Yeah.
Take a look. It's in a book, a reading rainbow.
Oh Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, Wolf Den.
So, my wicked queen, did you miss your wicked wizard? She's probably not even in here anymore.
Oh, she's in the chat. Her sound was acting up.
Mm.
I need to stop eating these darn gummies.
She
Oh,
said,
Frank's
yes, I
looking
missed
at
you.
me. My pug's looking at me. His eyes are big and watery.
Thinking, what in the world wrong with you?
Now he's got the begging look on his face, like, I want some too, Daddy. Oh. He's all about his daddy.
Yeah.
He loves me to death.
Until you get on to him.
Well, I mean, I get on to him every once in a while when he's getting into trouble, but other than that, though, like at night,
Uh-huh.
when I lay down,
Uh-huh.
I cover him up in the blanket and lay down with him
Yeah.
and go to sleep sometimes. He likes sleeping with me.
Oh yeah.
My little pug. Oh, did you see? I got. Did you missed the darn stream where I got Phoenix?
Did you?
Yeah, I turned on the darn green screen and then I showed my face. He was like, "What the?"
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Imitation.
I gotta get me a green screen. I want me one bad.
You can
use.
Oh,
yeah, I was tripping out on that the other night.
Yeah.
I got that. You see me?
You're like, "Is that your house?" And then all of a sudden my face popped in. You're like, "What?"
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck?" Blow me a kiss. You see that kiss? I cut my hair.
Okay, Wolf. That chair's gonna have a big old hole in the seat about this wide. Wolf did be like, whoop. Yeah.
You guys like my new haircut?
Did you get your? Oh yeah. When you gonna dye it again?
I have no idea.
I know you was talking about it.
Yeah. No, I still have my long hair. I didn't get it. Thinking about actually stripping the hair dye out of my hair and get it all in one solid color, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was doing Google, so I was like, they say warm water and vinegar.
Huh.
So, white vinegar.
That's unusual.
Yeah. Like, ain't that gonna damage my hair?
Run as fast as you can. You cannot hide. I'm the bill collector.
Okay.
All right, good.
Only Wolf Den can come up with
like me and Wolfden was talking about usernames. I said, "You motherfucker, you took my one name I wanted to use," and he's just bust up laughing.
Oh, the beaver hunter?
Yeah. I'm like, "You motherfucker."
And then the ninja, I think there's one of the ninja or something.
Oh no, that's not the one I wanted to use. It was something else. I forgot what it was.
There's the beaver hunter and I can't remember the other one.
Me neither.
I have to look at the troll accounts.
Wolfton goes, okay, I like that when I'm writing this one down. Okay.
Yep. Pretty much.
I'm telling you.
You know, if you did a channel, or if you ended up having a lot of gas on your streams,
what would you? There's your idea, Wolfton, right there.
The Wicked Gas X.
Oh my God. Well, I almost. Huh?
Wolfton could be like, guess this gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'm
telling
telling
Wolfton
you.
when I get a computer, I'm going to start my own community and group. So.
Did you have to take that other one back?
What
Yeah.
you need to do?
Okay.
I got an idea.
Uh-huh.
For the Wicked Wizard, like I said, you could dress up one day, like for Halloween, you could dress up like a wizard and do a live stream.
There you go.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to the Wicked Wizards channel. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
And then when trolls pop in and be like, I could do some magic, I'm going to make you disappear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. Get that troll out.
Have a picture of a castle behind him.
Yeah.
You shall not pass.
I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I got on my channel to see who was live, and I noticed you were online. I mean, live, James. So
I'm surprised you got a notification.
no, I didn't. I just got it. Went from my one channel to my Wicked Wizard channel to see who was live, and I'm like, okay, I just think I'm going to go ahead and pop right in.
They need to fix that though.
Yeah,
No, can't build a channel. Can't get no notification.
No.
Oh, can you imagine that darn the police go to pull you over, Wicked Wizard, you'd be like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. I'm on this platform. I'm relevant. And I'm famous. Be like, I'm the Wicked Wizard. And then the cops look at you and go, here's your wicked ticket.
Have a wicked day.
Oh, yeah. Well, yo, I think I'm going to end this one on this note. Who knows? May start another one tomorrow or whatever.
Tomorrow?
I know Wolfie won't be around.
No, I'm going to be making steaks. I got chuck eye steaks.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to be having seafood pasta with chuck eye steak, baked potato. I'm going to have like a plate that's like 5-10 pounds.
Ooh, wee.
Hey, I'll be over in a couple hours after you make it, and
Okay, who wants to say the goodbyes first?
Ladies. Oh, I was going to say ladies first, but I remember Morticia's not in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morticia's gone.
Yeah.
I'll let Mr. Whoopton go first. I'll go last.
Okay.
I'd like to thank y'all for letting me up on the panel. It was a fun stream. Hopefully we can do it again. Hope everybody has a good day on Super Bowl Sunday. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Chicken grease.
All righty.
It should have been bacon grease.
Yeah, one of them.
Yes, after this, I'm going to make something to eat.
There you go. He's hungry. All righty. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. Hey, James, thanks for letting me on the panel for a couple of minutes. I appreciate that. It's been long overdue. I try not to be MIA that much anymore, but I got my own things going on here. I have to
Oh,
No problem. No problem.
Thanks for everybody coming in, and thanks for saying hi, Morticia. Good to see you again. And all that good stuff.
I want to thank everybody for coming in and support my paranormal stream, even though this ended up to be a fun stream anyway, which is okay. I want to thank Wolfden, Morticia, and Wiki Wizard for being up on the panel. And for those watching on the repeat, tell your friends, let them know that, to watch this channel. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.
Later, everybody.